Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching. Before I head out to Monticello to see the home of Thomas Jefferson, I wanted to give you a quick update of another anti-gun unconstitutional bill that was submitted by two of the most criminal senators and congressmen, Senator Markey from Massachusetts and Congressman Jamie Raskins from Maryland. And I really want to say thank you to Blackout Coffee. This is not Blackout Coffee. This is their stuff. And it's times like these that I realize just how good Blackout Coffee is. Because this, while it's not good, it's not terrible, but it's pretty darn close. blackoutcoffee.com/GNG, where you can get some of the best coffee in the world. We source it ourselves, we roast it ourselves, we flavor it ourselves, grind it ourselves, make our own K-Cups, and send it to you within 2 to 3 days max of it coming out of the roaster. Check us out down below, blackoutcoffee.com/GNG, and use code GNG10 to save 10% on your order, just to try it out. Appreciate y'all. All right. So this is a bill that they submitted it last year as well, didn't get much support, and I do not think it will get much support again. This is another bill where they're signaling to their base, we're trying to do something. And they predicate this, I'm not going to read what they predicated on, but it was a early January event in 2021. And what they say happened, that never even happened if you look at any of the film footage that's been released lately by Congress. So these two clowns are still perpetuating the lie and hoping that we, the people, are gullible enough to fall for it. And some will, because they vote blue no matter what, even though they try to steal guns away. So here's the bill on the screen. You can see it's being called the Preventing Private Paramilitary Activity Act of 2024. Now, in all things Congress, the definitions matter. They mean something. So I want to jump to private paramilitary organization. The term private paramilitary organization means any group of 3 or more persons associating under a command structure for the purpose of functioning in public or training to function in public as a combat support, law enforcement, or security services unit. Now, most people on the right off the bat, they'll say, yeah, this sounds like we don't want any rogue groups like terrorizing Americans, right? Think of like groups like, I don't know, like Blackwater, private groups, former military folk that train and do contract work. Well, this is so darn vague, and it's almost word for word like the previous version that was submitted, that there's enough gray area that you and I could easily be lumped into this. And I want to show you this so that you can correct folks who might know about this bill or educate those who don't. Okay, unauthorized private paramilitary activity, the offense. It shall be unlawful to knowingly, in a circumstance described in subsection B, and we'll discuss that in a second, while acting as part of or on behalf of a private paramilitary organization and armed with a firearm, explosive, or incendiary device, or other dangerous weapon. 1. Publicly patrol, drill, or engage in techniques capable of causing bodily injury or death. I hope you can see the vagueness there. Just about everybody who owns a gun trains with it in a manner that's capable of causing serious bodily injury or death, right? Otherwise, why are you carrying a firearm? To protect your life or someone else's, if you're not going to be proficient in its use. Patrolling, neighborhood patrols, neighborhood watch. In my career in law enforcement, I have come across several communities across this country where they basically patrol themselves. They don't call 911. They handle things themselves. Vietnamese populations are famous for this. And when I was in New Orleans, we had one of the biggest Vietnamese populations in the Southeast, and they patrolled themselves. They handled it themselves. Well, under this, they would be guilty of training under paramilitary blah, 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 because they're patrolling their neighborhood. You see how vague this could be? Just you and I training to be proficient in the skills that could save a life. You would fall under this as well. It would also be illegal to interfere with, interrupt, or attempt to interfere with or interrupt government operations or a government proceeding. Yeah, that whole First Amendment thing, the right to gather, right to petition your government for redress of grievances. Yeah, they don't want any of that to happen, especially if you're utilizing your other right that follows the First Amendment. They don't want that. Interfering with or intimidating another person in that person's exercise of any right under the Constitution of the United States. Again, extremely vague. All of you can think of a spot where they could trigger that clause. 4, assume the functions of a law enforcement officer, peace officer, or public official, whether or not acting under color of law, and thereby assert authority or purport to assert authority over another person without the consent of that person. And some would say citizen's arrest would fall right into that as well. Or apprehending criminals on your own, because the Democrats don't want you to. They don't want the police to do it either. 5, train to engage in any activity described in paragraphs 1 through 4. Now, here are the circumstances they alluded to. The circumstances described in this subsection are that the conduct described in subsection A involves travel across a state line or national border, or B, the use of the channels, facilities, or instrumentalities of interstate or foreign commerce. Those are your highways. Those are your roads, mail, stuff like that. Involves a firearm, explosive or incendiary device, or dangerous weapon that has traveled in interstate or foreign commerce. Pocket knife, guys and gals. Pocket knife would fall under that as well. Involves the use of ammunition or a large capacity ammunition feeding device that has traveled in interstate or foreign commerce. So if you have a standard capacity magazine, you will get tripped up under this as well if it passes. Obstructs, delays, or affects interstate or foreign commerce, or occurs wholly within any Commonwealth, territory, or possession of the United States. So you folks in the islands, this includes you as well. Exceptions, it doesn't pertain to the armed forces of the U.S., the National Guard, the naval militia, any regularly organized state militia, or any unorganized or reserve militia called into service by the state or the United States. Now, for those right away saying, I'm a member of a militia, state militia. Well, first off, we all are the militia, and that's another reason they worded it the way it is. Back in the definitions, their regularly organized state militia only applies for those working under Section 109C of Title 32. And that's this here. In addition to its National Guard, if any state, Commonwealth of Puerto Rico, District of Columbia, Guam, or the Virgin Islands may, as provided by its laws, organize and maintain defense forces, a defense force established under this section may be used with the jurisdiction concerned as its chief executive, blah, 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 blah. So if the state didn't call you in to organizing, then it doesn't count. Strange. There's a couple other exceptions, but it would not apply to any of us unless you're in a parade and stuff like that. And I will leave a link to this verbiage. This is from Ed Markey's side. Jamie Raskin submitted the same bill, just in different chambers. So I'll have a link to that down below. I just wanted to let you all know this unconstitutional bill, I don't think it'll have any support, not now, not the way, especially the way the House is. The Senate maybe, but the House is not going to stand a chance unless some rhinos flip the script. So always remain on guard for that. And please spread the word. Again, if you want to check out my videos that will be coming soon on Mount Vernon, I was at George Washington's house and tomb yesterday, and it was powerful. And today I'll be going to Thomas Jefferson's house, Monticello, as well as his burial site. If you want to see those videos, they will be on my Patreon. Link is down below. Thank you to my Patreon supporters who make, you guys are the other backbone of this. You are that giant steel beam that supports this channel. Again, check out Blackout Coffee because this stuff sucks. Be safe, stay vigilant, carry a gun to keep you, your friends, your family, your community safe. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.